Yo, it's your boy Marcel P. Black checking in. This is episode eight of the Everything I Love podcast. Once again, we join with my esteemed, the look, I always say that Jamaal really do outside what I be rapping about. You know what I'm saying? I be, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, I'm not a marcher. You know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. I'm not a protester. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not outside leading people with the side of chance and telling off the governors and the mayors like that. You know what I'm saying? I might make the soundtrack to it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my ministry. So Jamaal really do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he's just one of the most important, and he's a credible MC as well. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we back with him once again. You know what I mean? Jamaal, how you doing today, good brother?
Hey man, I'm good. Shout out once again, for having me on. Uh this has been a good experience so far. It's been a really, really dope experience. And I'm ready to dig into this next track because, as short as it may be, it's still a monumental track and it's still, something that we need to dig into. So yeah, man, let's get down with it.
100%. It's funny because it's really the other half of the conversation we was having before. You know what I'm saying? So it just and I picked these songs at random too, so it just kind of happened like that. So the track he's talking about is called Fatherhood, or what have you, produced by Jay Philly. Once again, the interviewer is brother Jamaal Steele, and brother, it's on you.
Yeah, bro. So one of the things that I've always noticed since I've been listening to your music, and since I've been listening to your music, it's been since Cry Freedom. So one thing I've always noticed is that you seem to have acknowledged your kids in some fashion on every project. So what made you decide to actually write them a letter on this particular one?
Because when I started thinking about my mortality, all I can think is about my children. When I started thinking about how lost I was, how lost I am without my pops, it made me think about them. And you know, when I say like my children, like literally Jamaal, bro, like it was days, you know what I'm saying, I was virtual teaching and they were virtual learning. Like they would when they was on breaks from their classes, they would come to my room and check on me. They would like bring me food. If they heard me crying, they come get in the bed with me. Like, and man, they 9 and 10 right now. And they at that age, bro, where they just so cool. Like I'm watching them grow their personalities, bro. I'm watching them get their own swag. Like, I was so worried about them like moving. We moved from Louisiana to Oklahoma and they going to schools in the state and the city they've never lived before. They didn't know anybody and they're just doing so great. And like I love my babies. Like I love them like the only people who I've never had, like they love is 100% unconditional. I'm daddy. I'm their superhero. And
Right.
so I just wanted to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Um, when I was so deep in my grief that I didn't, it didn't, the way they were grieving, it didn't really manifest until later. So
Mm,
like, and I'm not going to, this is where I'm not going to divulge too much, but both of them grieve very, very differently.
yeah.
And it was brought to my attention. And afterwards, like a little later down the line, a couple months later, um, and the first thing I did was try to get them some help, like get them somebody to talk to, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this isn't like a letter from the grave, but like they're kind of young for me to really, really, really break down what I'm going through right now.
Mhm.
So like maybe when they turn 14 to 15, then I'll like, so this is me like this is my letter to them that they can read when they get a little bit older. Like
Absolutely.
this album isn't. I got a couple songs where that's kind of profane, and one song that might be borderline inappropriate for children, which is
Mm,
you'll see when the album drops. It'll make sense when the album drops, right?
yeah.
So, but the album is so vulnerable and it's so sad that they're probably not like most of my music. I can play with them in the car. You know what I'm saying? And this
Mhm.
album is not. I got a couple profane songs that is not for children. But this is the majority of this album is going to be an album that I'm going to play in the car because it's so sad. And man, when I say my pops was the best grandfather in the world, oh my
Mm,
goodness, like
mhm.
they loved their pops. They loved him like he loved them too. Like he was like the best gift I ever gave my father was allow him to be a grandfather. And like they were super duper duper close to him. You know what I'm saying? And they're still processing it. And so like this song is a form of a letter just addressing that and just like um I was listening to Fonte on a podcast called Fathers Who Bother, and it's by Jerry Barrow, right? I think
Jerry
we might talk
Barrow.
about this before. Jerry Barrow, right?
Mhm.
And they were talking about their relationship with their fathers who both passed away. And like Fonte said, the best thing he could do now, on top of everything else he does, is let his children know who he is. So like, like yes, my kids are really, really well behaved. So I'm not
Mhm.
even gonna say I'm a disciplinarian because they don't really get in trouble. They're really, really good kids. They listen, they follow directions, they really, really smart or whatever, right? But
Right.
if I gotta get at them, I gotta get at them. But now I'm kind of flipping it to where it's like they're seeing a whole lot more of my personality. So I'm making sure we joke and we play and we crack on each other and we go get our haircuts and you know what I'm saying? Like I go school shopping for them and get them the cool shoes and
Yeah.
I don't know anything about anime, but I'll sit down and watch anime with my daughter, not knowing what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? Me and my son play video games together. You know what I'm saying? And we go to the park and things of that nature, right? So I want them to know who I am and what I'm about. I want them to listen. Thank God for like, Title having, Spotify on some having edited versions of some of the classic hip hop albums that I love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people be like, well, I'm not playing Meg in front of my children. Well, even as much as I love Little Brother, some of the language and stuff they talk about. It's not really appropriate for kids either.
Mhm.
So, just some of the language, if nothing else. So I'm glad they got the listening and they got Mr. Show radio edited and they got the Eve joints and what I'm saying, edited and I put my daughter up on Missy Elliott. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like just really trying to show them who I am, but at the same time, I think as parents, we try to protect our kids from some of the stuff that we're going through that they never really know who we are. So in this particular song, I wanted to give them my insecurities too.
Mm.
Because it's so much about my dad who I don't know who he is. And he was there. He never left a great father, but like um we didn't talk on that. Like I know who he is as a pops and I hear stories about him or whatever, but like we really didn't get to that level as men to where we could talk as friends until like I was in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
like I wish like I never saw my pops sweat. I know he did. He's a black man in America. But like I'm curious to like how he overcame his struggles or insecurities or whatever, or what were they. So I won't feel crazy when I go through them. You
Absolutely.
feel me? So with this
Yeah.
one, I just wanted to be transparent as possible. Like, yeah, like I feared I'm gonna fail you as a father, or I'm not gonna be there, or whatever. Like whatever. Like I haven't been nobody, no parent is perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so I just really wanted to
Mm.
articulate that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, maybe in a couple of years when I get a little bit older, they can hear it and understand it a little bit more without being so triggered by it.
Indeed. Um, you were actually about to touch on one of the 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 pieces that I wanted to touch on from this song. Which is actually the next question. It's like my biggest fear is failing you as a father and leaving you unprepared when the days seem darker. My second fear is leaving you unprotected from the lonely and neglected when the world gets hectic. Um, so
Damn, I said
I
that, didn't I?
you did. You legit did, my guy. Like I had to run that back. Like that, just that line. I had to run that back like at least 2 or 3 times. Because as a father myself, I understand that first part. Like the first part. Like we never want to feel like we leaving our children unprepared for when we ain't here, or when the days seem to get more tough for them. Um, but what I'd like to know more about is the second fear. and what that means and why you touched on that one on this song.
So, whew, when I was young, I was bullied by a close family member, and I don't. I'm positive my parents knew about it, but I don't think they understood how to handle it without causing family drama.
Mm.
And this is what led me to be kind of angry and start acting out and start like doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing that I knew better I should be doing. And I had to do this because I didn't feel protected. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the words to articulate my fears of being unprotected. You know what I'm saying? And so like a lot of trouble that I've gotten into as a child and as an adult is uh, not wanting to go back to being bullied or being put in a fight or flight situation. So be it uh, in middle school being asked about gang affiliations, or be it if a rapper play on my top. You know what I'm saying? Or or,
Yeah.
or, or, or be it, you know what I'm saying? And so it didn't make me it didn't make me a bully, even with my size. You know, I'm a big guy. I could easily bully somebody if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
it made me like I'm Jamaal. Somebody could talk crazy to me, and I'm nice with my words. So if I can't, you know, 9 times out of 10, I can talk myself out of it, or I can humble myself enough to like not take it too personal and be able to walk away from the situation. Right?
Right.
As long as you don't put your hands on me, we good. You don't spit on me. You don't throw a cup like the Malice in the Palace. We Gucci. Right? I can walk away. Right?
Mm.
Because whatever problem, when nigga got a problem with you, that's really their problem. That ain't you. Right? If somebody says something about you, I'd knock them out. I didn't feel protected, so I became the protector.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a I had an issue with an in-law, and he calling me, cussing me out, blah 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 blah. I ate it because that's nothing. I've been called worse by better people. The moment he said something about my family, I lost it. So so I'm more likely to die protecting somebody I love than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I whatever. For
Yeah.
myself, I can hold that. Whatever. I can deal with that. But I don't ever want to put my children in a situation where they don't feel protected and they don't have the agency to articulate it. Because me feeling that way is a catalyst for a lot of dumb shit that could have got me killed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
man, you had some stuff I ain't never said out loud before, bro. This is a whole therapy session. I'm gonna have to send you a bill, bro. You have to send me an invoice here. You know what I mean? But now, but it's real. I mean, like, you know, it's cathartic for me to say these things out loud. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm.
you know, just I always want my children, like when my children get in trouble, look, just tell me what happened. I tell them I'll be more upset that at the end of it, I found out a different story from what you told me. Tell me what happened. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just gonna teach
Mm.
you the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I want my children to understand that you ain't gotta hide nothing from dad. Even if the work you can do something terrible. If you tell me what happened, I'm gonna fight for you.
Right.
You know, so I'm gonna fight for you, and I'm gonna make sure that even if you do have to face consequences, I'm gonna make sure that the consequences are the most restorative and reparative as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
If it gets to a situation to where whatever the consequences is out of my control. You know what I mean? If we got to go to trial, I'm there with the lawyer to make sure you get the best deal, whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not, that's hyperbolizing, but that's, what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But like, I want my children to know if it's boys, if it's you getting bullied, if somebody touch you, if it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? You whatever, just tell me what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I can
Right.
protect you.
And I can see that. I can definitely see that protector situation within you. I low key feel like that was something that almost happened when we was together at the last show that we had ever performed at together. Um, stuff popped off,
Right.
and you got on stage right after me, you know, and said your piece, and then went and then we went on with the show.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised because you went off. That was a side I never seen before. I was laughing about the situation, but just know if anybody would have been outside, that's that. Like,
yeah,
I don't like honestly, bro. I don't like. Nah, I don't like that. It's been so many times, bro. Like, like I said, I'm really, really good at conflict resolution, right? 9 times out of 10, any fisticuffs or anything that I have gotten into, it's been to protect somebody. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Because whatever. I'm not a person who I don't like to fight if I don't have to, but even worse, I don't like feeling that way.
right,
I try to give I try to give people a lot of options to dead it before we get physical. But if you mess with somebody else who I love, those type of steps get skipped and it's up. You know what I mean? So yeah,
mhm,
that night was I was just looking at some pictures and videos from that night just recently. Whatever that was, January 31st, 2020, and that was a good night.
mhm.
I had the red polo sweat. I remember that night very well. Well, I remember that night very well. Whatever. But yeah, man. But yeah,
Right.
but it's like I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why all the Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack, that fight for you. That's why that song hit me so hard, bro.
Mhm.
Like, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna fight for you. That's my favorite song of the year, hands down or whatever. But yeah,
Period.
man.
Yeah. So in this song, you also acknowledged your father, which is their grandfather.
Mhm.
How important is the Williams family legacy to you, and how does it reflect through your children?
Woo. Um, it's funny as you say that, man. So it's like I'm not gonna say it's a point of contention, but all the Williams men are 6 foot plus, college educated, men of God, whatever. A lot of them are in education, things of that nature, right?
Mhm.
Um, so a lot of the things that I do, I got it natural. I'm 6 foot plus, I'm dark skinned, you know what I'm saying? Um, God fearing, and I work with young people. But they can be really, really, really Bible thumperish and holy. And I'm probably the most secular. Like, I don't go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, my politics are a little bit more radical, further left, a little bit more liberal and progressive. And with a few of my uncles, that's been a point of contention, right? And just I always say that I had inverse daddy issues, right? Like a lot of people be upset because their pops wasn't there or they didn't do nothing. I always had a fear of not being good as my father because he was such a good man. He was like the perfect black man, strong black man, right?
Mhm.
And so like my worst days was me acting out because I felt like I couldn't be good as him. Now I realized is that he only wanted me to be me the whole time.
Mhm.
Now my other uncles, and honestly, their opinions don't matter. it only really a matter what my father was and what he wanted me to be and what he raised me to be. And so for me, that Williams family legacy, you know what I'm saying, for both my daughter and my son, um, I'm trying to instill in them, I'm trying to put them uh in the best possible position to be successful, like my pops did. Like when I graduated high school, when I my senior high school, um, when we was in high school and what have you, um, you know, I don't know how much it is now, but like HBCU applications was probably like 35 to $50.
Hmm.
Man, Jamaal, we spent a smooth. Ooh boy, we probably spent a smooth $500-600 on college applications alone. Like my pops, he didn't go to HBCU, but when I told him that I wanted to go to HBCU, he made his own college tour. You know what I'm saying? We went to at least 5 or 6 different HBCUs on his own. He
Hmm.
hopped in the van and we drove. He took me to the campuses. We set times with the counselors to look at the campuses and things like that, or what have you. Um, I got accepted to about 9 or 10 different HBCUs. I chose Southern, or what have you. But um, he was very, very, very big on support. He told me, it was just like, I could have named you Malcolm Jr., but I want you to be your own man. And so for me, is he always met me where I was at and gave me space to kind of grow. And so as a father, I want to do the same thing with my children, right? Like I'm into hip hop and basketball. My son likes, I don't know what the hell he be listening to, but he likes video games, right?
Hmm.
He's not, he'll play 2K with me, but like basketball's not really a thing for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, if you wanna, he wants to get into coding and he's real big, like computer wizard type guy. I don't know anything about that, but I'm gonna put him in some tech classes, some
Right.
coding classes, and we play about 2 hours of video games every day. Streets of Rage 4 is his game. We be on there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Facts.
my daughter, when she want to do gymnastics, we got to gymnastics. When she wants to do cheerleading, dance, or whatever, she wants to play drums, whatever. Like I try to meet them where they're at, and then also try to expose them to as much stuff as possible. So like continue with that particular legacy, and like spiritually, of course, I always make sure they have a strong, solid foundation that they can
Right.
always like build upon as they get older or what have you. But yeah, they're like that aspect of um, it's a new day. So what was expected of men growing up, born in the 40s and the 50s, is different of children born in the 2000s and the 2010s, right? So
Mm.
back then it was just, hey man, look, just don't have no babies out of wedlock, go to college and get a job and you straight. And of course, that's cool too. We all those things happen. But I'm
Hmm.
trying to, my children are God. They know that. You know what I'm saying? So we out here trying to raise young revolutionaries, and making sure they have political educations. And I'm raising young socialists and Marxists. You know what I'm saying? Young Pan Africans, so they understand that it's more than about just individual wealth and belongings. But what can you how can you use your talents and your God given skills to redistribute and build build with your people who have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not so much a departure of the things that my father was trying to instill in me, but it's building upon those things. You know what I mean? So like that's super duper important to me.
Absolutely. What do you want for people to take away from this song as it relates to how important fatherhood should be to the culture?
I've never thought about that, man. I literally only thought about my children. Like I literally only thought about I want them to always know. I never want them to question how much I love them. That I would do any and everything for them. And I just that's I don't even know. I mean, there's a push for black fatherhood, black fathers, and things like that, which is what's up. But like, um, one thing I learned is, and I guess this is maybe this is this might be an overall thing throughout the album, is that you never stop needing your parents. Like you'll forever be somebody's child. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you don't we wasn't born out of osmosis. Like I'll be 38 in a couple of weeks and I cry for my pops at least twice a week.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, um, yeah, like love your child in every stage of their development, from elementary age to teenagers to college age to their 40s to when they become grandparents, and grow with them. Grow with them. Like your child is not the same person they was at 15 when they turned 35. They're not gonna depend on you the same. Just because they don't depend on you the same, that don't mean they don't need you the same.
True.
As fathers, black men, take care of your mental health, go to the doctor, work out, like do everything you can to be alive as long as you possibly can. And make sure that your children feel nothing but love from you at all times. The good times and the bad times. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta discipline them and give them consequences, make sure it's with love. Make sure understand that you are continuing your legacy, but you're training. You have a personal chance, like a direct chance to train the future of our people. So yeah,
Absolutely, bro. But once again, man, I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to really have this time to dig with you into this song and dig with you into um what could quite possibly be like your most personal and most
oh
introspective
absolutely. Oh, you
album,
ain't bro.
bro.
Mill, bro.
Yeah.
Mill. I got to the second to last song on the album. Woo, you'll see. Like it's heavy. It's heavy. And yeah, man, I'm about to. I did something. Put these two songs for you to review back to back. You got the, you know what I'm saying? You got the heavy records, but the whole album is like that. But before I go, real quick, I
Yeah, man.
forgot to do it. I forgot to do it on some of the other guests or whatever. I apologize, but the album is called Everything I Love. What are some things you love?
Man. Um, well, absolutely, of course. You know what I'm saying? My daughter. Um, that's my little G. You know, sitting there being able to have an opportunity to just sit and watch her grow. I mean, you know, she only one, but it's a lot that goes down with a 1 year old. Um, this culture, I love this culture with everything in me. Um, I remember watching an interview with Jay-Z, and he was saying in the interview that everything I do is for the culture, and if it don't benefit the culture, then I'm not gonna be a part of it.
That's I like that statement from him. I like that statement overall.
Hmm.
But I'm calling cap Jay-Z saying that.
Exactly. You know,
I'm
like
calling cap. Calling cap. That's a pun. But
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
whatever. But I feel the exact same way. That's what culture of
exactly.
everything is about. Right, 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you know, just like the tangible things. I love Bueno bars. Bueno bars are like the some of the most ridiculous candy bars ever on God's green earth.
Wait,
Um,
what's that? I ain't never heard that before.
so Bueno bars, they got chocolate in them. They got hazel. It's milk chocolate bar that's got hazelnut inside the bar, like hazelnut spread inside the bar, and yeah, it's just a bunch of goodness. Like it
Is it
really is.
is it Mexican candy bar?
Um, I want to say no. I want to say it's more like Italian.
Bueno Spanish. I'm thinking like Taco Bueno. I'm thinking like Well, maybe I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, maybe Taco Bueno they slinging some candy bars out the back of the shop or something.
Yeah, they sell them, they sell them at all of the it's a it's a big national brand bar. So they sell them in all the gas stations and all that good stuff. And
I'm about to check this
also
out.
and I love Wawa. Like
Yeah, shout out to Wawa, bro. Shout out to Wawa.
Wawa is my joint. They need to hurry up and put one in the panhandle like ASAP. Because I can't get it unless I'm in Jacksonville or anywhere else in like Central Florida. And shout out to Raising Cane's. I love Raising Cane's. When I was
Jill, that's bad rules right there, baby. There we go.
Yeah, that part. When I would and literally when I would come to Baton Rouge, like that's like one of the only things I would get is Raising Cane's. And shout out to Raising Cane's because they actually finna put one here in
That's what's up.
Pensacola
That's what's up. That's what's
next
up.
year. So yeah, man, those that's everything I love.
100%, man. 100%, bro. 100%. All right. Well, look, for the people out there watching, man, we wrapping up again. Once again, the album drops September 14th on marcelpblack.bandcamp.com. Y'all know streamers don't pay enough, so we got to make sure that we run it up on the Bandcamp first, then we put on the streamers later. If you don't already, you should be by now. But if you don't already, you can follow me on Twitter at Marcel P. Black, at Marcel P. Black, brother. Instagram, Marcel P. Black. Facebook, MarcelPBlack at marcelpblack.com. Brother Jamil, I really, really appreciate you, especially you coming back in the clutch. Like I said, I'm about to send you hit you on the cash app because man, these, our episodes are definitely therapy sessions and me being able to talk about some real stuff. And I appreciate the questions. I appreciate everything you do, brother. And man, great time seeing you and hearing your voice as always, man.
Bro, I appreciate it. Thank you again.
100%. All right, yo, y'all stay tuned for episode 9. All I'm a hobby freedom.